spent the first 24 years of my life as an Air Force officer, retired as a colonel. I was an operational fighter pilot and commander, was a RAND, National Defense Fellow, and then spent the last years of my career as a strategic planner working for the Pentagon and for Northern Command and NORAD. And after that, I spent 10 years in industry, working for a Fortune 500 company, primarily starting out as business development, working my way through program management, and eventually into executive leadership as a corporate vice president. I was in charge of Homeland Security and space systems and their unmanned systems. And after that, I was very fortunate to be asked to become an endowed chair here at the Air Force Academy. I was thrilled when the Dean of Faculty offered me the position. Well, I think fortunately I have a diverse background, both military, industry, and educational. And my goal is to try to share those experiences so they can learn from my mistakes and from my successes, and essentially prepare them for what I call applied economics that they're going to be facing both in their personal and professional lives. Beyond the book learning, recognizing that as Air Force officers, they're all going to have to make decisions about scarce resources, and they tend to come into economics thinking it's all about money. And quite frankly, money is just a small part of economics. It's more important about dealing with resources like people, time. I asked the cadets what's their most scarce resource at the Academy. It's not money, it's time. So I believe that in order for them to be good leaders, they have to learn how to make good decisions about scarce resources, and I try to help them understand how to make those decisions now versus later. We all learn by making mistakes. There were a lot of things I didn't understand about economics, about the Air Force, about the defense acquisition system, many things that I didn't know until I was a colonel. And quite frankly, there was a lot of on-the-job training, and I used to joke with them that some of the jobs I had, I would think to myself, if they only knew how unprepared I was, they'd never give me this job. So I'm hoping to prepare them in some small ways so they don't feel that way like I did. Well, my biggest goal, and I tell the cadets in every class I teach, that my ultimate objective is to ensure that they are effective critical thinkers and decision makers. Because I am convinced that if you're a critical thinker and a good decision maker, you'll be a good leader. And that's really what we're trying to raise here, is leaders of character. I'm not trying to denigrate academics or athletics, but ultimately that's what makes us different. We're not just a typical university, we're trying to create leaders. And so I believe that my experiences, having flown in combat, having been a vice president in a Fortune 500 company, I can give them stories and case studies to show them essentially how the world works and how they can do it.